you'll do 4 lengths of this. So as you go for the first 75 and back, so you must go a second set and then in.
Yeah, so it's basically you're gonna do like 2 laps up here and then down, right? Like this is, you're gonna swim the equivalent of 600 meters up at this length here, and then this is the extra 150 feet instead of 50. Okay, who's doing the 750 swim that's here? All right,
Raise your hand.
There's the majority, here we go.
Okay. Are all the swims, are you allowed assistance on all the swims in terms of, or
Oh
is it
no,
just
only the land lovers are allowed assistance. So the one that just left, he just asked about a life jacket. So we're gonna get him a life jacket.
Okay.
Yeah.
Other kinds of assistance.
Pardon?
Besides the life jacket.
You can
Fins.
wear fins and
I would highly recommend fins. That's not right. You'll be like flying. Kickboard, I guess. if you want.
Kickboard, yes, or any, like a noodle or anything to float on if you need.
Yeah, whatever you need. It's all fun, right? So,
Yes.
okay. So once you're coming back in and you finished your swim, again, we'll have an area here where you can have your shoes rested, and then again there might be like a couple buckets where you can wash your feet off, and then you're going to proceed to the transition 1, where your bike is waiting for you. So carry your capping on, and if you do have to wear caps or not really.
Yes, we're wearing caps. We're
Okay.
gonna give.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So the different
Different races.
races will be
different
color
colors.
coded.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So.
So- So the swim caps will be given out on the morning then when people arrive?
Yes.
Okay, so where do you want to do that, in transition when people bring their bikes in, or? It's
Correct.
probably the easiest thing to do.
Right,
Okay,
because the
so-
tent is gonna be set up right next to the bike rack.
Okay.
So when you report in, you'll collect your packages with the cap. You'll get.
Bike numbers? Okay. All right, so yeah, you'll proceed out of the water. Keep your cap and goggles in your hand, and you can run with them to transition. This is what Bushhill here. No, right, yeah,
No, right.
right here. Okay, right. Bushhill here. Right. Oh, that's the aquatic road here. Okay, Bushhill. Coming in towards the clock tower. Transitions will be set up there, so you'll enter into transition. You'll get to where your bike is. You can then put your cap and goggles down on the ground, neatly beside your bike. The first thing you do when you get to transition, before you even touch your bike, is put your helmet on and clip it on. That is a rule that's universal to triathlon, so no touching bike unless your helmet's on and clipped. And that includes when you arrive to it, if you want to do a warm-up, the helmet has to be on and clipped, right? So at all times, when you're touching your bike, you really should get in the habit of wearing a helmet. So at that point, once your helmet's on and clipped, you can unrack your bike. I think most of you will be probably wearing your running shoes on the bike, or if you have clipped-in shoes, you'll get into your clipped-in shoes. There'll be what's called a mount line. I assume you'll put it down on the morning of. You do not get on your bike until you cross the mount line. That's the rule as well. So there'll be a line painted in the road as you come in this direction here, right? This direction they're coming out. Wherever that line is, it'll be visible. You'll see it before you even start the race. It should be in place.
It's actually there.
It's there already?
A blue line, and
Okay.
there's an arrow by coming out of transition, and it has an M for mount.
Right. So mount means you cross the line, then you get on your bike and ride. So you don't start riding in transition. You wait till you get across that line, and then you start riding. The bike course then is the yellow line. So as you exit transition, the yellow one, yeah. So you're going to get onto, I guess how we can do this here, the clock tower. There's that side road here, and then you'll come onto the main ring road that goes around and then down Bushhill and come around. Adele, you want to say what number of loops people are doing for each race then?
Yep. So. Right. For the Tritons, do you have any Tritons in here?
One in the back there.
for the ride, you're gonna be doing 6 laps around, following the yellow line. Yep, and then your run will be 1 purple, and that's it. For the persons who are doing land lovers.
At the mount and dismount line.
So land lovers is truly that. They will be doing 9 laps on the bike and then 2 laps on the run. And the persons who are doing the sprint, you're going to be doing 12 laps on the ride and 3 laps on the run.
Okay, so you're gonna have to do some counting. The one thing that's on the bike course, the yellow line, when you're finishing, it doesn't show it here, but you're gonna have to come into transition here to drop your bike off. So on your last lap, you won't ride down Bush Hill. You'll cut in here, and then you'll bring your bike into transition. There'll be what's called a dismount line, which means you get off before the line. So again, is that in place, the dismount line?
Yeah.
So.
And you can guess what that is there?
Remember, this mount you get off before and the mount you get on after, so just be aware of those lines. There'll probably be, I assume, some volunteers working the mount, dismount lines, so they'll be telling you to like slow down and come off the bike, so you want to get your foot down on the ground before the line when you're getting off. I'll have a clipboard with the distances and number of laps, because I know a lot of people probably forget that on the race day. You'll probably want a reminder, so I'll try to have that information handy. Right, so as you dismount, you're gonna come off at the dismount line, you'll run or walk your bike to the rack. Again, you'll put it on the rack and then you take your helmet off. So don't take your helmet off before, take it off once the bike is in place. And then if you already have your running shoes on, you'll just proceed to go to the run course. If you have cycling shoes, you'll change your running shoes and go. For the biking, you'll be responsible for hydrating yourself, so if you'll have to carry your own water. So if you have a water bottle cage on your bike, you'll want to put a water bottle in there. If you have a Camelback or whatever. On the run, there'll be a water station for the run, so as you're running, you can grab a drink of water. But for the bike, there's no water station per se, because we don't want people stopping at high speeds and then other people behind them crashing or whatever, right? So, and we don't necessarily want water getting on the bike course, because it could make it a little slick. So,
Just to be clear, the water station is going to be right at the transition point. So as you loop around on your run,
in here.
yes, the water station will be right there if you need to grab any water.
Just to make sure, the purple is a run, right?
Yeah.
Purple zero.
Okay.
Although there will be a yellow line that goes in here when you're finishing bike. You'll have to come in along this purple line.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just the extra, the difference with the ride and run is just a little extra that goes down the shell and comes around by like Light Power and
Yeah,
the
this
PDF.
part here is the extra part.
Yeah.
Okay, so once you're done your run, the number of laps, the finish line will be where you'll go through the finish. There'll be a finishing arch, so you'll see it. Where are you gonna place it? Inside here as well then?
Yes.
Yeah, so you just run through the arch and there'll be a timer there taking your time. So everyone will have a finish time. Other tips and tricks to watch out for. There possibly will be the horse trainers taking the horses down to pebbles, so when you're biking and running along here, just be mindful of any horses. You don't want to get too close and scare them or anything, right? So does the Turf Club know that we're doing this, so they're aware of
Yes.
our presence on the morning, so hopefully everyone's cool with that. Obviously, you always have to be mindful of cars. There will be police marshalling, but the roads are not closed. That's correct, right?
Correct.
Right. So again, it's just for fun, so don't go crazy and try to pass out cars and stuff and line up beside the road. There will be some people that probably ride pretty hard, but and same on the run. Just kind of be careful and mindful of cars and horses and things like that. Any other things?
Timing. We are only going to provide you with a total finish time. So once you start, if you want to know your splits in terms of the swim and the ride and the run, most people you're gonna have to, clock yourself, but we will give you an overall finish time.
If you have spectators coming out to support you, you can ask them to take your times for you as you cross the various areas of transition, like that. for this race, it's a little easier to do the manual timing. What else anything else we need to cover?
Anybody have any questions?
I should finish in about 6 weeks. I should finish in about 6 weeks.
Drafted.
I mean, in cycling, I would say, I don't know what your thought on drafting is. For an inexperienced group, I wouldn't recommend drafting. You don't want to get too close to the rider in front of you. I mean, you bump wheels, someone's going to go down. So I would try to keep some distance. I wouldn't say we're going to enforce non-drafting, but I think we just have to use our common sense and don't put yourself in a dangerous situation, or don't put anyone else in a dangerous situation. So I imagine some of the youngsters will probably be putting on a bit of a display of drafting. That's what they do, but yeah, don't get caught up in that. You don't have to.
We're going to be sharing this space with some experienced triathletes. They're all of 11 and 12 years old.
Beat me so much.
These are
However-
our Carifta triathletes.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
they're all business. Yeah. Okay, with that, I'll open it up to any questions. If anyone has anything they want clarified, feel free to ask. It'll be much clearer on the day when you get there. You'll kind of see where everything is. This is a very good visual, though. I think it's a very easy course to follow, so it's not too complicated. Oh, the one thing I was going to mention. So, because there are laps that you have to keep track of, we're not counting laps, are we? So.
No.
We're asking everyone to do the honor system, right? Count your laps, count them correctly. I know it's hard, you're tired. 6 becomes 4 pretty easily, and 12, I don't even know how you count 12 on a bike. So if you don't have a GPS watch, and you can't track your distance, one little tip people use for counting on a bike lap is they'll put elastic bands kind of on their handlebars, and they'll just pull off an elastic band every lap. So. Or little pieces of tape. We don't want to litter necessarily on the course, but I don't know. I think a rubber band, a small rubber band, or a small piece of tape wouldn't be too offensive if you try to drop it, or just put it in your pocket if you have a pocket or something, right?
Drop it in transition area.
Yeah, generally if you have any litter to drop, whether it's something you took at the water station, you can kind of drop it within the transition area, so we can dedicate a zone or a zone or something. But yeah, if you're kind of pulling off elastic bands, maybe if you're whatever you're racing as a pocket.